Hello, I'm going to go over the solar system formation lecture. So we're just talking about the basics of how our solar system formed. This was about 4.5 billion years ago, 4.6 billion years ago. And from what our current understanding of solar formation is, we believe that it first started off as just a big nebula. So a huge cloud of gas and dust, much bigger than our current solar system. So here's a big nebula that would have many, many stars within the area that could be formed within this huge cloud. So this would span what is currently one solar system to another, to another, to another, many solar systems in this big giant cloud. So the solar system started out as a nebula of gas and dust. This nebula cloud was much bigger than our current solar system. Now something had to start the process. Probably some force, probably a supernova, caused a portion of the nebula to start collapsing in on itself. So what that means is we've got in the middle of this nebula, we have a star explodes. Big supernova, huge explosion, a lot of force. Well, that force is most likely what caused one region of this nebula to kind of squeeze together and start collapsing down into a disk. But you can see this disk is just a small part of this nebula. Gravity started to pull the region together. All right, so now we've got this disk that's kind of condensed, starts to swirl. Gravity is affecting it locally. As the material spun, so we're going around, it's starting to spin around in a circle, it started to flatten into a disk. So at first it was kind of like this three-dimensional mass, but as it starts spinning and going in one direction, what happens is anything that spins like that is going to start squeezing down into a rotating disk. This is called an accretion disk, with most of the material forming the sun in the center. So eventually the sun would be formed in the center. Once enough of the material came together and it was hot enough and there was enough pressure, it ignites in nuclear fusion, and that is the start of our sun. Dust and gas collided, stuck together, and slowly started forming larger rocks. So at first it was just small bits, and one bit of dust and gas would stick to some more, and we'd start getting pebbles. Those pebbles would start sticking together, rocks would smash together, some of that material would stay stuck together, bigger and bigger and bigger. These rocks would smash together and eventually form planetesimals. All right. Planetesimals collided to form the rest of our planets. So you have to understand, in this early solar system, it was filled with debris, all kinds of stuff. There was regular collisions all the time. And slowly from those collisions, we started getting some of our planets. As more and more mass sticks together, and then the planets get their own gravity that's strong enough to attract other things. Gravity from the planets and sun would start to pull the rest of the debris in, cleaning up the solar system. So all this debris would eventually get pulled into primarily the sun, but also into forming our planets. The comets and asteroids in our current solar system are the leftover debris from the formation. So we can actually learn a little bit about the early conditions of the solar system by looking at comets and asteroids. All right, I hope this helps. Thank you very much.